Deep in the Mojave Desert, in a land called Hondo, there was once an unclimbed roof crack of legendary proportions. The moment I laid eyes on it, I just knew I had to send it. The first ascent of such magnitude would be my legacy. So in preparation, I ventured into Joshua Tree National Park with my friend Andrew Rock for a quick brush-up mission on some classic cracks. We started out on More Monkey Than Funky, a tasty little 511C, famous as an old John Backer solo, which Andrew promptly on-sighted easily, and then it was my turn for the quick follow lap. If I was to send the Hondo roof crack, then this should be no problem. God damn, up a little. Damn it, here we go. Fuck. More. Okay. Still on. Still climbing. Woo! Woo! Okay, I'm out. Take it up. Pick it up. It was at that moment I remembered I actually suck at crack climbing and don't have a chance in hell ascending this or the Hondo roof project. As reality set in that I was not the man for the job, I shed a quiet tear for my legacy that would not be and told Andrew about my secret mission. You see, Andrew is what you would call a crack master, with a bag of tricks acquired over a lifetime of climbing. If anyone I knew could slay this beast, then it would surely be him.
Oh, whoa.
What do you think about this?
Looks rad. Yeah, it's clean. It's gonna be, but the feet, I don't know, there's that, which will probably break off. 1 foot down here, this is like super thin. Right. It's like more like face climbing, crimpy if you start from the beginning. You don't get any decent locks until like right in here you get some decent, but you're freaking so on your hands here. Oh, that is already annihilating me.
What do you think?
It looks hard. You gotta go around the corner, pig pen style. Oh, and then it gets fucking desperado.
No.
And then you're pumped, and you really don't want to pitch.
Yeah, he could spot you there.
Yeah.
After scoping out the crack and concluding the start moves were just too savage, Andrew decided to try the line from halfway out the roof, where the seemingly easy climbing started.
Ooh, Terra Incognita. I love it.
As Andrew began climbing, it quickly became clear that the crack was as hard as it looked, maybe even harder.
Yeah, work that thing. It's nice.
Thanks, Andrew.
Reset that right hand, man, before you get committed out there.
The good jams pinched down to rattly fingers at the lip, and it wasn't looking good. Could this be the first time I've seen Andrew defeated by a crack?
Yeah.
He's got you. It was at this moment I realized we were fucked. You see, Andrew was a new father with new priorities and new body weight. It was back to the drawing board. So in a last-ditch effort, I jumped on Instagram and furiously started messaging pro climbers that I knew liked cracks. Dudes like the Wide Boys, Ethan Pringle and Mason Earle were at the top of the list. Interest were peaked, but schedules weren't permitting. Mason seemed like the most interested though, and my hopes went sky high. We had a couple dates fall through that season, but I wouldn't let it go. And almost exactly 1 year after my first message, the planets aligned and Mason came to Hondo. Now to set the stage, you need to realize that Mason didn't know me at all, and he didn't have a clue what he was getting into. I basically sprung the fact that we were meeting my friends out there and that I planned on filming the whole thing. So there was Mason with 5 people he didn't know, cameras everywhere, and some unclimbed roof crack. The pressure was on. But Mason was unfazed. And really, why would he be? Mason is one of the most accomplished crack climbers in the world, having literally sent some of the most difficult single pitch trad lines in existence. He even sent Joshua Tree's hardest crack line Stingray in just a few tries. As we warmed up on some boulders, I could hardly contain my excitement. You see, when you're developing a new area like Hondo, having a pro climber stop by for a visit is what you dream about. And the fact that Mason is such a cool guy who enjoys the desert was the absolute cherry on top. I just hope the crack wouldn't disappoint him. Well, so we just got here. What do you think?
Looks pretty sweet. Hell of a crack. Definitely a gym. Yeah, it starts when you touch. You got some feet. Like purples or greens though at the lip.
Yeah.
Kind of an awkward size.
That was the issue.
Most obvious start. It can be like that.
Yeah.
Put up in there. Cross the boot to that. That. Because it gets like a weird size here, it's like you can't really get a finger lock.
Yep.
Can't get your hand in there. It's like too flaring for a pump stack. Hey.
After systematically analyzing the crack, Mason casually put his shoes on and went to work. No tape gloves, no hand jammies, no worries about the highball finish with two dudes he didn't know on the spot. It reminded me of a big wave surfer dropping into a huge wave with complete control and confidence. Good. Watching Mason climb was a revelation. His technique was flawless, and his endurance blew my mind.
All right.
Oh my God. Good shot, Mason. And just like that, without much fanfare, Mason had established Hondo's hardest line on site. It was at that moment I realized there's simply different levels to this shit.
Woohoo! God damn.
Well, so give me a little context. What just went down?
Just somehow by total fluke did the crack first try. I'm trying to do it again, but I can't. Yeah, you know, it's like old school, like 13 minus. Yeah, first go, best go. It's a classic. A real like boulder would just like come through here and just like crimp the underside of the crack probably.
And then
Like
fail at the lip.
pretty good holes, you know. Yeah, and then totally get owned on the lip.
Yeah. This was Mason's first trip to Hondo, but it wouldn't be his last. The following year he returned and upped the game again with another first ascent that in my opinion is one of the raddest new lines to go down in the Joshua Tree area in years.
What? You trying to kill me? That is steep. That's really steep.
Think about subscribing to the YouTube channel so you don't miss the next installment of our Hondo First Ascent series. Thanks for watching.